Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alliance Tournament, match 116. I'm your host, Chesser, joined with Gorion. Villore has brought a very interesting composition with double Bargus, Scimitar, Rook, Cerberus, Bifrost, double Moa, and the young Badger. Gorion, break down Paisti Syndicate for me.
Well, Paisti's looks like they've got 2 Hounds, 2 Purifiers, a Flycatcher, Orthrus, a Scimitar, a Claymore, a Scorpion Navy issue, and a Golem. So they're definitely going for that battleship-heavy comp right now.
You know, I'm kind of liking both of these very interesting shield compositions. We don't see that many Golems this late in the play, and a Badger. We haven't seen a single one yet in the tournament. I'm curious to see what it's going to do because it's warped at range with the rest of its group.
Here we
go. Match
go.
is starting now. Talk to me, Gorion. What's going on in Villore? What are the initial plays that they're going to want to make?
Well, it looks like they're trying to branch around the 2 Moas that Paisti had set, or the 2 Moas that are on Team Blue here, trying to get around them so that they can see if they can grab some of the support that they have behind them.
Yeah, there's a little bit of jockeying for position here. What I do have to say is Villore's Bargists are charging directly into Paisti Syndicate. They need to be a bit careful though, because Aster on Villore's side, his Bargist is dropping dangerously low, and if he gets out of range of the Scimitar, that could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of damage coming into him right now. He's dropping into 1/4 shields. There's some damage coming into Orlana on the Scorpion Navy issue on the other side. But that Barghest is having a tough time right now.
These Barghists are straight up ramming into Paisti Syndicate's entire fleet. It looks like they're going all in on this Navy Scorpion. And you know what? I think this is a dangerous idea. Navy Scorpion's much tankier than a Barghest. Barghists are more designed to sit at range, and he's already dipping into armor. Gorion, was this a bad call?
This might have been a bad idea, and it's looking like that they gambled and they lost. The Barghest is dropping deep into structure. It's probably going to fall in the next 3 to 5 seconds. What were they thinking, charging a kiting ship this close?
I have no idea. That is the first Bargus down for Villore. Paisti holding very nicely. They are not even losing anything. Their Scimitar is completely safe. I can understand rushing the Bargus in maybe after a Logi or something like that, but to go directly for a Scorpion Navy issue and to just sit on top of its face with Bargists, I don't understand what that plan was. Scimitar Naryu on Villore's side, he needs to make sure that he's in range and providing the best reps that he can, but as he gets closer, he's going to get more dangerously close to all of the projected DPS that Paisti has. I'm not liking Villore's chances right now.
No, it's really looking dim. I mean, the second Barghest is dipping into less than a third of structure. Most of the damage is back on a Orlana. They're mostly repped up at this point. So, I mean, it looks like they just tried to thrust in and try and go for a headshot, but then just got their own head chopped off.
Yeah, it definitely. You know what? I think Villore is completely out of their depth here. Their entire strategy from the word go has been completely lopsided, and frankly, it just doesn't make any strategic sense to rush these Barghists in like that, sitting 0 on a Scorpion Navy. Target painters are being applied to random bombers. There is no great cohesion that I can see on the group. As you can see, their attack bar is barely even filled. While you look at Paisti Syndicate, their bar and control bar has been consistently higher as they've been focusing on one target at a time and are even breaking down the backbone of Villore. They're both of their Barghists through reps. That's very powerful.
Well, some reps are coming back on St. Michael's, but as you can see, it was just a matter of time, and Paisti is just sitting completely pretty. There's nothing that's even a risk to any of their ships right now. All of them are sitting at over half shields in a shield comp. They've had full control over it. I mean, the tackle Moas right now, the screen from Jim Tresoro, it looks like he's the next target.
I just don't understand, first of all, why you would bring a Badger in this composition, number one. And number two, why are you ramming with Bargus in a composition that's looking to kite and wait for the Rook to get jams off on the Logi to hopefully maybe pick off some of the Hounds or Purifiers, maybe even a Flycatcher that you could have with the Bargists. Villore didn't do any of that at all, just I think showing their lack of depth and kind of understanding here. It looks like Paisti is now switching over to Villore's Moas, which, again, Moas we talked about earlier in the tournament. I really like Caracals, much more than Moas, especially in this type of kiting comp that Villore looked like they were going to try and run here with a Rook with ECM. But at this point, I think it's just a slow, grinding death.
Damage is being applied to the Scimitar. Well, we might see some of the ship here actually go down, but looks like, again, too little too late.
Most definitely. It looks to me like the Scimitar got caught out just a little bit by these Moas, and it's going to have an XLASB of its own. One Moa's already down, and the Paisti Syndicate can completely just break through any type of shield ship that Villore is fielding, even through the Scimitar reps. So if you ask me, it doesn't even matter if Paisti would throw their Scimitar away right now. This game is shut, locked, and done.
They didn't bring the Badger just to carry themselves back home?
I mean, I hope that enough, it has enough cargo space, because I don't know what else it would be carrying. I guess maybe some cap boosters, but again, it's difficult to get those cap boosters when your Bargus literally ram into the enemy team and the Badger.
Well, what are you going to use it for at this point? I mean, everything it was going to use it for is exploded.
I think the comedy factor at this point, I am enjoying this Badger's slow march across the entire arena. For 2 points, you could have gotten a Cruor, which while a shield Cruor would be very strange, I would take a shield Cruor over a Badger. I truly would.
I definitely would too. I mean, I've flown with Julianus a couple of times back in the day. Usually pretty okay guy, but this I'm real scratching my head on this one.
Yeah, this is almost as perplexing as a match a few while ago where both Bargus, instead of ramming the enemy team, sat at 0 MS and did nothing. So I don't know if it's a curse of the Bargus going on with AT14, but ladies and gentlemen, if you get in a Bargus, check your pilots, make sure they're okay. Make sure a snake hasn't bitten them if they're from Australia, or a rabid dog has entered their room. You don't know, but right now, Bargus pilots just crazy, absolutely crazy. It's kind of like Girls Gone Wild.
Well, there's definitely a point that you can make where there's more to just speed than 0 and maximum full ahead.
Indeed. And also the direction in which you're pointing, Orion, I think matters a lot. As PL taught us getting out of the arena, and also now as Villore has taught us in pointing right into the enemy team.
Yeah, that last rook's going down. I mean, it's trying to claw back, but it's just bleeding through every time they get low, and it's just a matter of time. There it goes.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Paisti Syndicate is laughing themselves breathless, but they're not even bothering with the Scimitar and are just breaking down its team while Scimitar is attempting to give full reps. It's really not under any pressure at all. At this point, as I was saying earlier, Paisti can basically do whatever they want, and it's going to be fine. Really good playing by Paisti. When you're in an AT situation, when you see two Bargus suddenly rushing at you, you could think, do they have an interesting plan set up? Is this like a trump card or something that, you're falling into a trap? And maybe that could have been the case if both Bargus got grapplers and scrams on top of the Scimitar and were right on top of it. Then I could understand why you would be doing that, because you could just execute their Logi, and assuming Villore could keep their Logi up, that'd be really good. However, just diving straight into a Navy Scorpion, maybe they didn't read what a Navy Scorpion's base resists are or what its hull bonuses are, but bad idea overall.
Yeah, it's like putting your hand into a bear trap. I don't see what they were doing at all. You landed on grid, you saw the distances that you're coming at, and you decide to just throw your kiting comp directly into the teeth of this kind of setup. I mean, 4 bombers, a Golem, and a Scorpion Navy, that's going to just crush you.
Yeah, definitely. This Badger now trying to receive reps, trying to make the plays. Should
have left that one for last.
Really should have. That endangered creature right there being poached right in front of our eyes by Paisti. They are having absolutely no mercy here with this Villore Accords team, and I think that they're going to take this in a clean sweep, 100-0, with 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the match. Only this Bifrost and Scimitar less. GF's going up in local. At least everyone is being very, very good-mannered about this entire game.
Yeah, they're definitely being polite about it, but, this was definitely something I was not expecting to see. It's been pretty confusing to me, to be brutally honest. I'm almost kind of in awe, because I'm showing up here, and what is the Badger doing on field?
I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, Paisti Syndicate gets a nice win, gets to continue on in their bracket, so at least that's positive for him. Looks to me like the Scimitar is just absolutely burning for the edge of the arena. He's got a fair ways to go yet, but if this Orthrus has anything to say about it, he may not reach there. It is in hot pursuit, but it would be nice to see if the Scimitar decides to sacrifice itself to the GM gods.
Yeah, I was checking to see if Julianus was going to be doing Edge of Glory as well, but it looks like he's just rolling around about 50 to 75 kilometers from the middle of the arena. Looks like he's just trying to pull something out here.
This Orthrus has scrammed the Scimitar, but the Scimitar, being wily, has an afterburner, as most or all of really good AT Logi should have, and is continuing his pursuit of the edge, currently at 75 kilometers and just increasing his range, so he's got a little bit of ways to go yet. The question is will his XLASB hold out? Now he's turning to the side. I wonder if he's trying to make an epic play, just like was it Atlan on the NC team against PL with his Drake?
But usually you have to be actually at the edge first to do that.
Yeah, he's turning a little bit too early. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive. His XLASB is going to hold out much longer. I don't know if he can do it. Fingers crossed. Oh, wow, he's got quite the line of ships chasing him. This is a dangerous position for the Scimitar.
Yeah, Juliana Soder in the Bifrost is still just trucking along. Looks like he's heading back into the middle of the arena. As for what he's going for, I guess, I mean, at this point, the only thing I could think of would be to try and go after one of the bombers. But with the Scimitar still up on the other side, I mean, what are you going to do? There just isn't enough damage to do anything at this point.
Oh, no, definitely not. At this point, though, it really doesn't matter what Paisti does as long as it isn't suiciding all of their ships at the arena, because in 30 seconds they're going to be able to claim victory, and it's going to be absolutely no problem here. This Scimitar just happily burning away, probably going to be running out of XLESB charges soon. Chase
Juliana
down.
Soder going down.
Yeah.
Bye, man.
What I would like the stream to look at, though, is the Scimitar not being tackled at all and only with the target painter is currently being shot at by 3 to 4 bombers. And just to look at how important the AB is and how important signature is on Logi ships. Look at these 3 bombers attempting to kill a Scimitar, okay? So on paper, these bombers have a lot of DPS, but when the Scimitar is not webbed, when it is not held down and properly tackled, it takes little to no damage from missiles. So that's why when you see ships like Hyenas, it makes such a big difference. Match is over. Go Ryan, send us back home.
All right, well, that's it for these guys, and we're headed back to the desk because this match is over.
Na 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 na.
And Villore Accords sent home by Paisti Syndicate. Paisti coming through there, able to apply damage, able to get in there and take out that crucial Badger. Clearly #1 threat on the table. Fozzie, tell me a little bit about what we saw.
Villore Accords getting knocked out. Honestly, I think they have to be really happy with their performance in this tournament. I think a lot of people weren't expecting them to go this far, relative newcomers to the tournament, and did a really, really strong performance. Paisti are guys who've been around a very long time. I used to fight against them back when I was in the Alliance tournament piloting, and really, really strong team. It's going to be great to see what they do against, I think, Northern Coalition next weekend. Either way, they're going to have a tough road ahead of them, but it's going to be great to see what they do next. I think the Badger in that case was probably brought for the mid-slots for E-War, but I do agree with the commentators that you're better off with something like a Merlin, with a crew, even with a shield.
2 points. You got to go for that crewer. Come on. They did their best, but clearly just not able to move ahead. Moderator, what did you think?
So they finally came up against an opponent in the Paisti Syndicate that really knocked them down. They went up against Volta. They had a pretty easy run through so far, but they just went up against someone they couldn't handle. Can't be too disappointed with the top 12 finish, though. That's really good for a first time. Top 12 finisher, yeah. So they are going to get automatically invited. They're going to get a nice heap of skins, probably 100 bill or so worth of them. So well done by them so far.
Yeah, excellent work. Excellent work. Not excellent enough as Paisti moves into the top 8, and that's rounding out the top 8 for the day. This being the last elimination bracket match that we'll see.
Yeah,
from
now we're
here
moving
on
to
out,
see some teams that haven't lost at all.
We're shifting formats, and we're moving from single match elimination or single match combat going through the elimination bracket to the undefeated brackets best of